What's up, guys? It's Andrew here, aka Coaster Carnage, and today I'm going to come at you with my first ever coaster battle. Today I'm doing a matchup between two coasters that I have ridden, and I don't think I've never seen them being compared before, but I think it's a really good and unique matchup. And this matchup is going to be between Monster versus Sheikra. So let's get right into this. So first off, just going to say this is going to be a comparison of 10 different categories. They are all going to be out of a certain number for each coaster, and so each category will have a different amount total. Credits to Taylor from Coaster Studios for this idea for how to give the coasters specific number ratings, and then at the end I'll give an overall score for the two coasters. So starting us off is a category that couldn't be used for everything, but I think can be used for this matchup, and that is the lift hill category. I'm going to be giving Monster a 3.5 out of 4 for this category because it's a vertical lift. Everyone loves vertical lifts, and so that's just something that really adds to the ride, in my opinion. And then Sheikra's going to be getting a 2.5 out of 4 because it's a steep lift hill, but nothing too special about it. Next up is going to be the drop. So this is a very important element on these two coasters. It's one of the main elements for sure on Monster and the main element on Sheikra. So I'm going to be giving Monster a 7 out of 10 for the drop because it is a beyond vertical drop, and it's pretty long, but not like super long. So yeah, it's just really enjoyable. You get some nice ejector. Obviously, Sheikra has an amazing drop, so I'm going to be giving it a 9.5 out of 10. And so, yeah, Sheikra hangs you over the edge, as you guys all know, and it's that massive 200-foot drop. And so, yeah, it just really deserves to get a 9.5 out of 10, in my opinion. Next up is speed and pacing. So I kind of grouped those two together. And so both of these coasters are getting 6 out of 7 for speed and pacing. Obviously, Sheikra goes faster, but its elements are more spread out. So it gets a better score for speed, but a worse score for pacing versus Monster, which gets still an alright score for speed, but it has very, very good pacing. It's one element right after the other, which is why those are getting even scores because they kind of balance out between the two categories. Next is inversions. So Monster is going to be getting a 7 out of 8 on inversions. This is because it has quite a few inversions, and they really give you a bunch of forces, whether it's super intensity forceful or it's got hang time, and it just really mixes it up with the inversions, and I really like that. It has a good variety. And then Sheikra is going to be getting a 4.5 out of 8, and that's because it's really only got that moment at the beginning, and so, I mean, it's still obviously a huge inversion, and it's pretty intense, and you actually get a little bit of hang time, but it's just nothing too special. Next category is airtime, and for these coasters, I put the airtime category only worth out of 5 points, and that's because these coasters aren't really based around airtime. They're mostly based around inversions and the drop and such, so this just isn't as big of a deal. So I'm giving Monster a 3.5 out of 5, and that is because Monster just has two airtime hill type of things, and then on the drop you get a ton of airtime. Sheikra, I'm giving a 2 out of 5 because really the only time you get airtime is on those two drops. This next category is intensity, so this is talking about positive G's. So I'm giving both coasters a 6.5 out of 8, and that is because on Monster you get pushed down into your seat more, but on Sheikra it's just obviously the speed just really puts it all together, and then through that tunnel and stuff. And so yeah, that just really, even though it's not quite as forceful, the speed really makes up for it in this category. Next category is smoothness, and again, both of these coasters are tying at a perfect 8 out of 8. I rode Sheikra over this past Christmas, so the winter of 2015, and it was just butter smooth. I didn't feel any rattle, any like shifting, nothing like that. It was just super smooth. And then obviously I just rode Monster this summer, so summer of 2016, and it was brand new, barely open a month, and so it was just crazy smooth. So these are both really smooth coasters, so you don't have to worry about that. Both get perfect 8 out of 8s. Next category is duration. So I'm giving Monster a 6 out of 7 because although it's not like a super long ride, it's, for what it is, it's got a fairly long ride layout and duration, especially compared to other like Eurofighters and stuff. Most of them have shorter durations, and this one really packs a bunch of elements into its layout. And so that's why I'm giving it a 6 out of 7. Sheikra's getting a 4 out of 7 because, as it is with most dive coasters, it is really short. That's one of its downfalls. And so yeah, next category is theming. So on Monster, this is going to get a 1 out of 4. It really has relatively zero theming except for the trains. It would have gotten either a 0 out of 4 or 0.5 out of 4 if it wasn't for the trains, but the trains are absolutely awesome. So that's why it's getting the 1 out of 4. And then Sheikra is getting a 3 out of 4 because obviously Busch Gardens, we all know, really does it well with the theming. Even though Sheikra, in my opinion, was probably the least themed coaster at Busch Gardens Tampa, except for maybe Kumba. And so, yeah, it doesn't get a perfect score like maybe Cheetah Hunt might have. But, yeah, so 3 out of 4. The final category is restraints. So I'm giving Monster a 3.5 out of 4 on this because it has, like, if you can imagine, like, Gerstlauer's version of B&M clamshells, that's exactly what it's like. They're super comfortable. They really do well during the air time and the hang time, and they don't even staple you in that much, so it's just super comfortable on that. And then Sheikra, I'm giving a 2.5 out of 4 because it is the B&M over-the-shoulder restraints, the classic ones, not vest restraints like Valraven, or Valraven, I don't know how you pronounce it, sue me. And, but these do provide for good airtime, and as I said before, it's not like a rough ride, so it really doesn't make too much of a difference. So now we're up to the total score, and the winner of this matchup is Monster with a 52 out of 65 versus Sheikra with a 48.5 out of 65. This was a super close matchup, two different but similar coasters. And so, yeah, that's gonna wrap this up for me. Thanks for watching, guys. What are your thoughts on these two coasters? Have you ridden them? Which do you think is better? And, yeah, so follow me on Instagram at coaster.carnage, and then follow the YouTube channel. Okay, see you later. Bye.